chosen one, stop scrolling immediately. Lock your attention right now. You did not find this message by accident today. Heaven intercepted your feed because of something highly specific you did in the last 24 hours. I am not asking you to listen. I am warning you to stay. What I am about to reveal was sealed in the courts of heaven until this exact second. You did something today when no one else was watching. You made a choice. You could have fought back. You had every right to choose war, but you chose silence instead. You walked away quietly when they expected you to break down. You thought your restraint went unnoticed. You thought that keeping your mouth shut meant you lost the battle, but you are completely wrong. That silent moment shifted your entire timeline. God was deeply touched by what you did today. And because of that exact moment of mercy, heaven has officially rewritten your spiritual decree. I am going to reveal the exact words the Father spoke over your life while you were sleeping last night. I will also show you the massive blessing that the enemy has tried to delay. Stay with me until the very end. Do not let your mind wander. Let us talk about that exhaustion you are feeling right now. Your shoulders are tight, your eyes are heavy. You have been carrying a quiet tiredness in your bones that sleep simply cannot fix. You wake up at 3 in the morning with your heart racing and your mind spinning. You thought you were just stressed out. You thought you were losing your grip on reality. Stop dismissing your own intuition. You are not experiencing a medical issue. That heavy feeling in your chest is intense spiritual discernment. Your spirit has been working overtime. You have been absorbing the pain of everyone around you like an emotional sponge. People come to you for healing and leave you completely drained. You are the universal problem solver. But when you are bleeding, the room goes completely quiet. No one steps up for you. You feel so isolated, even when you are standing in a crowded room. This isolation is not a punishment. The loneliness you feel is a divine insulation. God had to clear the room to protect your frequency from people who were secretly draining your light. You have been functioning as a spiritual watchman for your entire family. You stand guard in the unseen realm while they sleep peacefully. That is why your physical body is exhausted. You are carrying a mandate that most people would completely collapse under. Think about the people you have sacrificed so much for recently. You extended grace when they deserved absolute anger. You poured your soul into connections that only gave you crumbs in return. And when they finally showed their true colors, it broke your heart. But even then, you refused to seek revenge. You swallowed your pain. You gave them the mercy that they consistently denied you. You felt weak for doing it. Heaven saw every single tear you wiped away in secret. The Creator saw the moments you cried in your car. He saw you holding it together for your family when you were falling apart inside. The world told you that being a good person gets you nowhere. The enemy whispered that your kindness is a fatal flaw. They wanted you to become bitter. They wanted you to close your heart and turn cold. But you refused to let the darkness change your spiritual identity. Because you protected your purity, the Most High is stepping in right now. A massive shift is happening. That sudden heaviness you felt this week is the atmosphere breaking open above your head. The enemy is terrified of you today. He is working overtime to make you feel like a failure. He wants you to give up right before the door swings wide open. He knows that your silent obedience just activated a generational cycle breaker protocol. Let us return to that specific thing you did today, that quiet moment of surrender. You stopped trying to force the outcome. You stopped trying to heal people who do not want to be healed. You released the heavy armor you have been wearing for years. You finally let go. That is not a surrender to defeat. That is a surrender to divine authority. You just handed the battle over to the only one who can actually win it. God is about to vindicate you in front of the very people who mocked your kindness. The tables are turning in the spiritual realm as I speak to you right now. The exhaustion is going to lift. The mental fog is going to evaporate. You are stepping into a season of unusual favor and supernatural acceleration. Every delayed blessing is being unblocked because you passed the ultimate test of the heart. But you must understand the exact nature of the warfare surrounding you right now. There is a reason your tolerance for fake people has dropped to 0 this month. There is a specific entity assigned to drain your energy, and it is hiding in plain sight. If you leave this message before the end, you will walk blindly into a trap. Anchor your spirit here. I am going to expose the hidden truth about your true assignment. You have been reading the signs backwards. You thought your silence was cowardice, and the world constantly told you that you were just a pushover. People assumed you were weak because you did not scream back when they provoked you. But let me reframe your reality right now. Your silence was never a sign of surrender. It was a calculated spiritual weapon. Heaven defines power very differently than the world does. The enemy wanted you to react. He wanted you to step out of your character and fight in the flesh. If you had reacted with intense anger, you would have instantly lowered your spiritual frequency and stepped right into his carefully laid trap. But your supreme gentleness absolutely terrified the darkness today. Meekness is never a symbol of weakness. It is massive power kept under perfect control. You are a demonstrated warrior of light. A true warrior does not need to draw their sword at every barking dog that crosses their path. You stood your ground in total peace, and that single choice sent shockwaves through the unseen realm, proving you are ready for the next level. Now I want to pause and hold something in front of you before we continue. Over the past few years, something has been found in research laboratories that most people who care about these spiritual things have never been told about. Not because it contradicts what is sacred, because it came from a direction most of us are simply not watching. A small group of neuroscientists found something fascinating about the way the human mind is designed. They discovered a specific physical mechanism that explains exactly what most spiritually sensitive people have felt for years, but could never quite put into words. I will tell you what they found later in this message. But right now, hold this critical question in your mind. What if the reason your mind feels foggy is not age and not a lack of discipline? What if your suppressed power was systematically taken from you at the neural level by the modern world? Keep that thought anchored in your spirit, because understanding what was stolen from you is the first step to reclaiming your divine destiny. We will return to that restoration soon. You have spent years operating as an emotional sponge for broken people. You thought it was your sacred duty to fix everyone around you. You poured your golden energy into bottomless pits, and they gladly took your light while handing you their chaos in return. This is exactly why you feel a profound sense of emptiness right now. Your spirit is demanding a boundary. The enemy knows you are a generational cycle breaker. Since he cannot destroy you directly, he sends energy vampires to distract you. He sends counterfeit connections disguised as caring friends or lovers to constantly drain your emotional capacity and keep you completely exhausted. They are sent to prevent you from fulfilling your mandate, but heaven is intervening. Have you noticed how your tolerance for drama has completely vanished recently? People who used to take up hours of your time are suddenly exiting your life. Friends are walking away without any logical explanation. You feel a strange urge to just stay home and be alone in the quiet. Do not fight this transition. This is not you becoming bitter or antisocial. Heaven is orchestrating a massive relationship clearing in your daily life. God is forcibly removing the people who cannot travel with you to this next spiritual dimension. He is cutting the toxic soul ties that have been silently weighing you down for years. You are entering a season of intense preparation, and preparation always requires a period of profound physical and mental isolation. You are a watchman, you are a shamar. Your primary assignment is not to constantly please the people who stubbornly refuse to respect your basic boundaries. Your calling is to stand sentinel over something incredibly sacred. You cannot guard the gates if you are constantly exhausted by petty arguments. That is why God is shutting the doors that you kept trying to pry open. Release the desperate need to be understood by everyone. Those who deliberately misunderstand you are committed to their false version of you. Let them have it. You do not need to defend your character, because your character speaks for itself in the courts of heaven. The moment you stop trying to prove your worth to them, a massive spiritual weight will finally lift. You are stepping out of the survival identity. You are no longer the helpless victim of your earthly circumstances. You are a celestial being, waking up to your true nature. But to fully step into this power, you need to understand the historical precedent of what you are enduring. You are not the first chosen one. There is a profound truth hidden in the ancient texts about the power of silence. The greatest spiritual giants did not win their battles by shouting. They won them by standing completely still in the face of absolute terror, trusting that heaven would fight on their behalf. I need you to hear what the Spirit actually says about this exact moment. I told you earlier about the sudden exiting of people from your life. The universe does not just remove people without a profound reason. It always sends a warning sign before the physical separation happens. You have been seeing repetitive sequences like 111 and 444 everywhere you look. You have been having vivid dreams that wake you up in the middle of the night. These synchronicities are divine confirmations. Heaven was showing you their hidden motives long before they actually walked away. But there is a specific reason why the enemy attacked you through the people you loved the most. He was trying to provoke your anger. He wanted to strip away your gentleness. Have you ever wondered why the darkness fears your gentle nature far more than it fears your rage? Why your soft heart is considered a lethal weapon in the unseen realm? I am going to explain exactly why your gentleness terrifies the enemy shortly. But first you must look at the blueprint of those who walked this exact path before you. Look at the ancient text regarding David. He was already anointed to be the king. He carried the heavy mantle of leadership, yet he spent years running through the wilderness because a jealous king named Saul was hunting him down. David had the perfect opportunity to kill Saul in the cave. He could have easily taken his revenge right there. He could have ended his own suffering with one physical strike. But David chose absolute stillness. He chose to let the Most High handle his enemies. His restraint was not a sign of fear. It was the ultimate demonstration of spiritual authority. David knew that if he fought in the flesh, he would lose his divine alignment. Your situation today is exactly the same. The people who betrayed you are playing the role of Saul. They are deeply intimidated by the calling on your life. They attack you because your anointing exposes their own unresolved insecurities. Your silent grace is burning them up from the inside out. Now consider the story of Joseph. He was a dreamer and a true cycle breaker for his generational line. His own brothers were so jealous of his prophetic visions that they threw him into a pit. They sold him into total isolation. Joseph did not scream and curse his family. He endured years of false accusations in a dark prison. He was completely stripped of his earthly identity. But that prison was actually an incubator for his supreme elevation. Heaven isolated Joseph to build his inner architecture. He needed a character strong enough to carry the immense weight of the glory that was coming. If he had skipped the prison phase, the palace would have crushed him. You are standing in that exact same incubator right now. The betrayal you suffered was terrible, but it was secretly used by heaven to reposition you for a massive kingdom assignment. God is using your enemies as stepping stones for your ultimate promotion. You are carrying the exact same spiritual DNA as these historical giants. You were chosen before the foundations of the earth to break the generational curses in your bloodline. That is why your battles are so incredibly intense. Ordinary people do not face this level of spiritual warfare. The enemy only wastes his heaviest ammunition on a target that poses a massive threat to his kingdom. Your current exhaustion is just proof of your high-ranking status in the spiritual realm. You were never meant to be ordinary. You were designed to shift the atmosphere the moment you walk into a room. That is a kingdom assignment. It requires a level of obedience that most people will never understand. And you have proven your obedience through your silent endurance. Heaven is deeply honored by your sacrifice. Take a deep breath and really hear this next sentence. Do not let your mind wander away. The wilderness season you are walking through is officially coming to a close. You have survived the isolation and the silent tears. You have passed the grueling test of the heart by refusing to become bitter when they hurt you. But the enemy is completely desperate right now. He is preparing one final illusion to make you quit right at the finish line. He is whispering lies into your mind as you listen to this very message. He wants you to believe that this waiting period is a permanent punishment. He is trying to construct a hidden agreement of limitation inside your subconscious mind. If you leave this video now, you will miss the exact strategy needed to dismantle his final trap. Listen carefully, because this next part is going to reach places inside your soul that you have never been able to put into words. We are about to uncover the ultimate hidden blocker that is keeping your breakthrough suspended in the spirit realm. It is not what you think it is. You have been looking at the external attacks and the toxic people, but the most dangerous enemy is the one hiding behind a false identity within your own thoughts. I am going to expose his biggest lie and reveal the true power you hold. The revelation coming up will permanently break the cycle of delay in your life forever. Now I want to close the loop that has been open since the beginning of this message, because I told you there was something found in research laboratories that I was going to come back to, and I want to tell you now why I waited until this moment. Because what they found is not just information. What they found is a physical solution, and a solution only becomes useful once you understand the full shape of the problem it solves. You now understand the shape. Your mind was not failing you. Your physical receiver was just under heavy assault by an unseen force. Before we expose this ultimate enemy, hit the like button right now. Do not do it for this channel, but do it so this exact message can reach another chosen one who is struggling in silence today. Let us send this frequency to the entire remnant. Let us return to why your gentleness is a massive threat. The enemy wanted to break your spirit through continuous betrayal. He hoped that the constant pain would finally make you snap and become toxic. If you had chosen anger and revenge, you would have stepped out of your divine alignment, fighting him on his own low-frequency level where he holds the advantage. But your quiet mercy was a devastating counterattack. Your silence proved that he has no control over your internal atmosphere. You held your peace while they tried to destroy your reputation. That is exactly why they are terrified of your intense light. You have apologized for your own power for far too long. You have consistently shrunk yourself down just to fit into rooms that were never designed to hold your magnitude, dimming your intense light to make other people feel comfortable. The enemy convinced you that your deep empathy was a burden. He whispered that your kindness was a weakness that people would always exploit. But today, that specific lie burns to the ground. You are not too much for this world. They were simply too small for your profound anointing. The darkness cannot handle a celestial being who refuses to be corrupted by earthly pain. You are operating in enemy territory. The ultimate blocker is not the toxic people who betrayed you. The real enemy is the survival identity that you built to protect yourself. You subconsciously agreed to play small because shining too bright always attracted fierce attacks, and you accepted the exhaustion as a normal part of your daily life. You let the world convince you that you were just a victim of bad circumstances. But you are a cycle breaker sent to shift the timeline. You made a hidden agreement with limitation when you were just a child. You learned that being highly sensitive only brought you intense emotional pain, so you built a heavy fortress around your spirit and called it safety. But that fortress has now become your spiritual prison. God is actively dismantling those walls today. The discomfort you feel is the sound of your invisible chains breaking. It is time to get violently angry at the lies you have been told. Not angry at the people, but angry at the spiritual deception that stole your joy. They took advantage of your good heart. They mistook your divine grace for human weakness. But heaven says that the cycle of people-pleasing officially dies right here. You are taking your crown back today. You are no longer accepting the crumbs from their broken table. You are not a regular human living a difficult life. You are a demonstrated warrior of light, waking up from a temporary amnesia. The exhaustion was never a medical condition. It was the heavy friction of your massive spirit trying to operate inside a restricted earthly mind. The enemy tried to use that friction to convince you that you were completely broken, but heaven is about to flip the entire narrative upside down. Listen to me very carefully right now. The betrayal was not your fault. Your heart was completely pure, but you handed your divine pearls to those who only understood dirt and constantly threw your grace back in your face. You thought you failed them. You thought you could have done more to save them from their own demons. But heaven is declaring today that you simply survived them. You survived the very thing that was specifically designed to destroy your destiny. The enemy is in an absolute panic right now. He knows that the moment you realize who you truly are, his control is permanently broken. He is throwing everything he has at you to keep your mind trapped in a state of heavy fog, because an exhausted warrior forgets how to wield their sword. He wants you to give up on your calling just when the victory is already secured in the unseen realm. But you are about to remember your original design. You are about to wake up from this long and heavy nightmare. The truth about what you did today is going to shatter every lie that hell has spoken over your life. I am going to reveal the exact words God spoke over you. Lock your attention and prepare your spirit for the shift. The revelation you have been waiting for is finally here. Here is the exact truth about what happened while you were sleeping last night. You thought your silent mercy went completely unnoticed. But heaven held a massive council because of your specific action today. The Father looked at your quiet restraint and spoke these exact words over your life. He said, "This one reminds me why I created humans." You demonstrated the exact quality that makes human souls unique in all creation. You chose pure light while surrounded by heavy darkness. That is exactly why God was so deeply touched by your gentle spirit. You broke the curse of your bloodline not by fighting but by forgiving. The heavy spiritual verdict that the enemy tried to place against you has been completely overturned. You are no longer on trial in the unseen realm. You are now the judge holding the gavel. The chains of people-pleasing are permanently shattered. You have finally graduated from the wilderness. Take a deep breath and release the heavy armor you have been wearing. You do not have to fight the battles of everyone around you anymore. The tired watchman is finally allowed to rest. God is stepping in to fight for you right now. His victory is final. Every closed door is about to swing wide open. The toxic relationships that drained your soul are officially cut off. You are stepping into absolute authority. What I am about to show you next is going to connect something you have felt in your own experience with something found in a research laboratory. And that connection is going to explain something about your life that nothing else has quite explained before. Do not look away right now, because understanding this physical link is the key to unlocking the spiritual elevation you just received. We need to look at why this specific moment matters so incredibly much for you. You have been carrying this massive spiritual identity in a physical body that feels exhausted. The profound truth being exposed today is that your mind has been operating under an artificial ceiling. A physiological block was placed on your focus and your clarity. It was designed to keep your massive potential locked away in the dark. But you are a generational cycle breaker waking up to reclaim your equipment. You are not a victim of bad circumstances. You are a celestial warrior who needs their physical armor repaired. The fog in your head is not your true identity. It is just a temporary interference. Heaven is providing the exact tool to clear that interference today. Let us go back to that laboratory in New York. The answer begins with a major discovery that actually won the Nobel Prize in 1981. Dr. Roger Sperry conducted groundbreaking split-brain research. He proved that the two hemispheres of the human brain are originally designed to operate in perfect synchronization. This is not a mystical concept. It is a biological reality that governs your life. Whole brain activation is the synchronized state where profound clarity naturally occurs. Great innovators like Nikola Tesla and Steve Jobs operated in this rare flow state. 98% of children naturally operate at this incredible level of creative genius, but less than 1 in 1,000 adults manage to keep it active. The modern world systematically shuts down this vital hemisphere synchronization. The constant noise and the daily stress literally force your brain to disconnect its most powerful neural pathways. This is exactly why you feel so incredibly foggy and disconnected lately. It is not a spiritual failure on your part. It is a physical reality that your physiological receiver has been severely compromised. Your destiny and your God-given creative genius were essentially taken from you at the neural level. The enemy wanted you to accept the reduced version of your mind as permanent. But the beautiful truth is that this synchronized state can be fully restored. You can reactivate the dormant power that is sitting quietly inside your own head. A woman from California described exactly what it felt like before she found this solution. She had tried everything her spiritual community offered to clear her heavy mind. She believed the sacred words, but she could not feel the reality behind them. After 10 days of using this specific restoration method, a blocked channel suddenly opened. A massive unseen pressure simply melted away. It was not because she tried harder. The physical receiver had simply been repaired. A man from Texas experienced something strikingly similar to her story. He had spent years holding everything together. He said his daily prayer had started to feel like speaking into a blank wall. The spiritual signal was right, but his internal receiver was completely off. 2 weeks later, he woke up and realized his mind was finally running on all of its original power. The heavy fog that had been so constant he stopped registering it was completely gone. His sharp clarity returned. The team behind this breakthrough gave it a name. They call it the Genius Switch. A dedicated team of neuroscientists, led by Dr. Daniel Barone in New York, spent years developing this. They took over an hour of clinical neural sync technology and compressed it perfectly. They turned it into an 8-minute targeted auditory sequence you can do at home, headphones on and eyes closed. That is the entirety of the physical requirement for this process. It is not a meditation app or a sound meant for a specific mood. It is an auditory sequence engineered on the Nobel Prize research to reconnect your two hemispheres. This specifically restores the whole brain activation that was your default state in childhood. But the Genius Switch is not for everyone. It is for the chosen one who understands that God prepared the mind that must walk into the promise. It is for the intercessor who has been incredibly sincere for years. You have done the heavy spiritual work. You have felt the call clearly and kept returning to it even when evidence was completely lacking. This is for the person willing to stop treating the mental fog as a character flaw. Most people who hear about this will scroll past and accept their reduced mind as permanent. But heaven arranged for you to still be here. That fierce persistence belongs to the exact person this was built for. $39 is a real commitment. Dr. Barone himself says the access was set as low as it could go. Similar in-person clinical sessions run $300 an hour. His colleague suggested $500 was a completely fair level, but he removed the middle barriers so people outside New York could still reach this. It was originally released at $49. Today, the accessibility on this specific page is $39. Along with this access, you receive 4 specific bonuses designed to remove daily blockages. These guides help you eliminate fog-inducing foods and restore proper stewardship over what heaven entrusted to you. They are tools to help you hold the clarity once it returns. They are not about striving for more earthly possessions. This comes with a 100% ironclad money-back guarantee. If it does not do what it did for thousands of others, every cent returns to you. But every week the synchronization stays disrupted is another week your divine provision moves through a restricted receiver. The provision already placed near you becomes visible in the synchronized state. What has been arranged for you is already in motion. The only question is whether you arrive at the meeting point with your receiver fully online. What is coming deserves the full version of you. But I must give you a direct warning. If you search for anything that sounds like this name elsewhere, you will find empty tracks. Dr. Barone studied them and found no neural sync technology embedded at all. The mechanism is what actually makes the difference. The direct page is the only verified source for this sequence. If your spirit resonates with what has been described, the path is in the description below and in the pinned comment. You can read every detail on their page before making any decision. But remember that the tool does not replace God. It does not surrender or close the spiritual doors for you. Obedience still belongs to your own heart. What God is doing in you is never conditional on any earthly tool, but a tool that restores your receiver gives heaven more of what it was designed to land in. Let us return to the deeper current of this divine message. The season of waiting in the dark is permanently over. The universe is removing the heavy veil from your tired eyes. You are standing on the very edge of supernatural acceleration right now. I need you to place your hand on your heart right now. Speak this declaration out loud with me. I release the heavy burden of my past survival identity. I step into my divine authority as a chosen cycle breaker. Type the word Amen in the comments below to seal this sacred covenant into your physical reality. Hit the subscribe button so you do not miss the prophetic instructions coming in the next 3 days. Heaven is not done speaking to you yet. You cannot afford to miss the next vital instruction. If this specific message brought peace to your exhausted soul today, I invite you to sow a seed of faith. Use the super thanks button to support this ministry if the Spirit leads you. Your generous seed keeps this light shining and accelerates the harvest in your own life. You are a demonstrated warrior of light. The false connections are completely broken. The unseen enemies are retreating. The doors that no man can shut are opening for you today. Walk into this new chapter with absolute peace. Your quiet mercy has moved the heart of God. Your destiny is unfolding exactly as it was written before the foundations of the earth. You are loved, you are chosen, and you are finally free.